People who formerly had significant riches in their hands and wasted them about throughout the world. The names of individuals like Patricia Clutch, Alberto Villar, and others immediately spring to mind. This demonstrates unequivocally that wealth is not a cure for poverty. You will learn why a high salary doesn't always translate into riches. Hello everyone, welcome to Finance Wisdom. In this video, we're going to talk about rich but not materialistic, how it affects you. If you're new to this channel, do like and subscribe to the channel. When something or someone is regularly taking a significant chunk out of your money, it might be difficult to feel prosperous. It doesn't seem like a luxury to spend money on necessities, live and save money for the future, particularly when you contrast yourself with others who are farther up the food chain. Comparing yourself to your neighbor who regularly cruises the streets in a fancy vehicle makes it almost impossible to feel wealthy. On the other hand, it's conceivable that you were headed for fortune while your neighbor was headed for financial devastation. If you can believe it, there once was a time when professionals on the rise considered earning six figures to be a major thing. It meant owning a host with a doorman, driving a European automobile, dining at upscale establishments, and taking trips to the Maldives for young, single individuals. It meant having a large suburban house and having sufficient college money for their kids. Married individuals do a $150,000 lifestyle was a luxury as well as a status symbol. For these six-figure goals, it meant becoming a member of the wealthy elite. These folks put in years of labor, certain that their efforts will be recognized and that the social contract would be securely in place to provide a happy retirement. Many folks had the idealistic dream of making a six-figure income one day, but earning $150,000 now doesn't have the same advantages. Due to inflation and increased consumption, $150,000 is now just starting point for having some financial freedom. Nowadays, generating $275,000 or more as a single individual is required to move ahead financially. Actually, more and more individuals are beginning to understand that there is enough money. The one who earns it either creates enough of it or labors to produce what he deems sufficient. Consequently, having a big salary does not ensure financial success. There are guidelines to follow and actions to take to arrive at your destination of wealth. I'll be talking about this in this video. People who suffer financially while having good incomes are so prevalent in modern society that an acronym was created for them. Henry refers to high earners who are not quite wealthy. This abbreviation has evolved to represent a certain category of high-end workers, most of whom are millennials. A typical Henry, according to specialists, is in his early 30s, makes over $150,000 per year, and struggles to maintain a balance between his spending and saving habits. They are not progressing toward their financial objectives and are falling behind in accumulating money. Their predicament is partially attributable to their comfortable, if not wealthy, lifestyle. But one might also point the finger at the economy, which seems to be doing well but is really boiling over with anxiety. Henry's major financial problem is that they often overspend and suffer a drop in standard of living. The issue with those who make large salaries yet lead extravagant lives is that when you punch above your weight, you run the danger of going overboard. If you're committed to building a sizable fortune, you know that earning more money should only mean saving and investing more when your quality of living rises to match the growth in your discretionary income. Otherwise, you're in serious danger. The fact that Henry's salary is increasing shouldn't require them to increase their spending. If people grow accustomed to making $4,000 or $6,000 a month, they shouldn't spend any more. They can find themselves paying $12,000 a month when they wake up 10 years from now. Due to their pricey lifestyle, a few Henrys are unable to really accumulate money. These include traveling abroad, lodging in 5-star hotels, and owning or renting 2 residences. These folks don't seem to be able to give up their way of life. These lifestyle decisions are in sharp contrast to the best practices often recommended by experts. The best way to save money is to avoid living a lavish lifestyle. If you do this, you'll be rich but not materialistic. Even if these higher earners aren't helping themselves, they are still being held back financially by things they can change. Millennials are affected by the affordability dilemma, whether they are aware of it or not. With stock markets rising and unemployment in the United States remaining at a half-century low of 3.5%, the economy appears to be strengthening, but this is not the whole story. choose to disregard the truth that income growth has simply not caught up with rising living expenses. It's quite useful to know that from 1979 to 2017, the average income of young people barely increased by 29%. On the other hand, since 1970, the cost of healthcare per person in the United States has increased by $9,000 and the median price of a house has increased by 39%. The average student debt of a 2018 graduate who borrowed money is $29,800, while the total national debt owed on student loans has reached a record high of $1.5 trillion. The fact that the general cost of living is increasing may also be of interest to you. In 1987, it would have cost you around $100,000 to live in the New York metropolitan region. Now it would cost you roughly $107,000 to live there. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Let's continue to discuss rich but not materialistic. The price of goods desired by upwardly mobile professionals is now nearly perverse, which may be part of the cause. Today, we have $100 diesel clothes that replace $40 Levi's, $5 Starbucks coffee that replaces 45 cents from the deli, and a $449 iPod that replaced the required $75 Sony Walkman of the previous generation. From all of this, it is clear that spending recklessly when earning a big income may be fatal, particularly when considering the reality that life is neither simpler nor less expensive. Income is crucial, but how you use it to build your wealth is more important. Using savings to provide long-term economic stability is part of saving. Because of advance in technology, it may be difficult to prioritize long-term financial success over instant gratification luxury items. The majority of millennials have forgotten the value of delaying gratification even when the glamorous life has grown even more spectacular and is difficult to resist. Driving a nice automobile may make you feel wealthy now, but as you approach retirement with nothing saved up, you could feel otherwise. So bear in mind that having a high salary does not always translate into being affluent. Spending all of your money will prevent you from becoming wealthy. It really is that easy. You won't get wealthy if you make a six-figure income, but squander it all. But in this video, I do have some wonderful news to share with you. Any income, no matter how large or little, may be used to develop wealth. Instead of spending money on useless things that just make you seem wealthy, you may start today to earn more money and concentrate on saving money and accumulating wealth. Naturally, earning more money makes it likely that you can save more after paying your required bills, so it's a good idea to aim to raise your income while reducing your spending. You may save more money for long-term prosperity, the more room you can make for your income and expenditures. To acquire money, you must first understand your current situation. You'll know how to approach investing based on how much money you earn, spend, and save. You cannot have costs that are the same as or even higher than your income. Additionally, if your aim is to improve your financial situation and your costs are already low, you must find a strategy to increase your income. Regularly, reviewing your income and spending is crucial. Make sure you don't use more than is required. Yes, it seems straightforward, but you could be shocked by how rapidly spending can outpace income. You must track every penny and tell the truth. Returning to the Henrys, since they lead lavish lives, there's always potential for cost-cutting if they start thinking seriously about their future needs. These may be decreased by cutting down on dining out, finding more cost-effective ways to commute, or simply decreasing their living space. It's time to take care of any debts once spending is under control. I'll be honest, anyone who is in debt will find it very challenging to enhance their wealth. The fundamental idea underlying all of this is that you cannot accumulate money if you don't first save and then invest, which is complicated when you have to regularly pay interest. When you have money saved, you may begin investing. By putting your money into wise investments, you may increase the value of your possessions more quickly. When inflation erodes the value of your savings, you should invest that money rather than leave it idle in a savings account. Wealth begins to materialize when someone makes wise investing decisions. You may concentrate only on your retirement savings, develop a strong stock market portfolio, generate consistent income flow via real estate, or all three. As many financial advisors would say, it's not about how much money you earn, but how much money it produces for you, as long as you save and invest it wisely. In order to better clarify, I provide you with two examples in this video. In the end, it is up to you who is affluent and who is not. So Michael, a university graduate, is our first buddy. He tries to save as much as he can, about 20% of his monthly salary, and lives modestly and far below his needs. Will begin earning twice as much. He continues to save part of his money despite the fact that he is now married and responsible for a family. After some time, he creates a shop location that 20 years later brings him more money. Michael has kept his funds and his investments show that he has good money management. Michael is rich but not materialistic. Gabrielle, a fellow Ivy League graduate, makes a very nice living, is smart, and puts in a lot of effort. But he also enjoys living lavishly. He owns an expensive car and a stunning home, in addition to his wife wearing designer clothing and jewelry, and their children have everything they could possibly want. However, due to the lavish lifestyle he and his family led, Gabrielle wasn't able to save money and was forced to live paycheck to paycheck. Additionally, he has had poor investment results. After some time, he becomes aware that his expenses exceed his income. Gabrielle's family would probably go bankrupt if he lost his successful job despite his substantial monthly pay. As you can see, each of these two guys has a deeply ingrained habit, one of which is good and the other harmful. Develop the practice of spending less than you make, saving and investing as a result. Naturally, having a large salary is beneficial since it makes life simpler and may speed up the process of building money, but you should inflate your standard of living to match. Therefore, it is tougher to remain on track if you approach wealth building with the mindset that you are giving something up. Having to give up some of your extravagances in order to save and invest is not a loss because of what you stand to gain in the long run. We've reached the end of another video and thank you for watching. I hope you have learned something rich but not materialistic. If you like this video, do give us a like, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below. Thank you and goodbye!